Bonjour classe, aujourd'hui on va parler de chapitre 7.1. Dans chapitre 7.1, on va parler de Identifying and Introducing People. D'accord, on va commencer. So, down at the bottom of your note sheet it says expressions. We have 34 and 35. We have two different ways to say I'd like to meet you and three different ways to say happy to meet you. So, if you are talking to one person who you can be that you know on a first name basis, you would use this first one. Répétez-moi s'il vous plaît. Je te présente. Now, if you're talking to a group of people or somebody that you need to be formal with, you would use the second one. Répétez-moi s'il vous plaît. Je vous présente. All right, then we have our three different ways to say happy to meet you. If you are a male, you would say this first one. Répétez-moi s'il vous plaît. Très heureux. I know it's a mouthful. Répétez-moi. Très heureux. Or you would say enchanté. And again, you don't need this extra E with enchanté because you're a guy. Now, if you're a female speaking, you would use the second one. Répétez-moi s'il vous plaît. Très heureuse. Again, I know it's a mouthful. Répétez-moi. Très heureuse. Or you could say enchanté. Répétez-moi s'il vous plaît. Enchanté. And again, because you're a female, you would need that extra E. All right, then to identify people, this is 30, 31, 32, and 33, again, down at the bottom of your note sheet. It is, they are, here is, and there is. Répétez-moi s'il vous plaît. C'est mon père. Ce sont mes cousins. Voici ma sœur. Voilà mon oncle. Excellent. All right, next we have our little family tree to talk about. And so we have our family, la famille en français. So down here, this little smiley face is toi, that's you. So this is your brother and your sister. Répétez-moi s'il vous plaît. Le frère, la sœur. Think of, if you know what a fraternity or a sorority is, a fraternity is like a club, a social club of all males at a college or a university. So think of frère, fraternity, all boys. And then a sorority is a group of all females, and it's a social club at a college or university. Sœur. Répétez-moi, la sœur. Le frère, la sœur. So, if this is your family tree, this is your father, and this is your mother. Répétez-moi, le père, la mère. And this is your grandfather and your grandmother. Répétez-moi, le grand-père, la grand-père. Down here we have your uncle and your aunt. Répétez-moi, l'oncle, la tante. And then we have your male cousin and your female cousin. And listen very carefully and repeat very carefully because there is a pronunciation difference in between these two. Répétez-moi, le cousin, la cousine. Le cousin, la cousine. And then both of your cousins, or if you have more than two cousins, a group of them, plural, les cousins. Répétez-moi, les cousins. All right, we do have some other words up here that we can go ahead and fill in now. Imagine that you are either this person, le père, or this person, la mère. So these down here would be your children. So this would be your son, and this would be your daughter. Répétez-moi, le fils, la fille. Remember that double L in French makes that yi sound, la fille. le fils, la fille. And then this would be your niece, and this would be your nephew. Répétez-moi, le neveu, la nièce. Excellent. On va continuer. All right, so some of us I know, including myself, have either divorced parents or widowed parents. So we have stepbrothers, stepsisters, and maybe a stepfather or stepmother. So let's go ahead and learn that vocabulary. Répétez-moi, s'il vous plaît. A stepbrother, un demi-frère, une demi-sœur. And then a stepfather and a stepmother. Répétez-moi, un beau-père, une belle-mère. Excellent. D'accord, les animaux domestiques, those are your pets. This is actually my dog right here. This is Reese. I don't live with him currently. I'm not allowed to have pets at my apartment, so he lives with my parents. But this is my little dog, Reese. Répétez-moi, le chien, le chat, le poisson, le canari. Excellent. All right, so that is, I believe, all of your family vocab. If I might have missed one, ask me about it, or check the Quizlet, because it's probably on the Quizlet itself. Donc, tournez la page s'il vous plaît. La deuxième page de notes, il dit la possession, à pas de table, la possession. D'accord, showing a possession with de. Here we are. All right, so there is no apostrophe S in French like there is in English. Instead, we use de, meaning of. For example, Monsieur Diurna's dog. Again, we don't have this apostrophe S in French to show possession. It doesn't exist. So we have to say le chien, the dog, de Monsieur Diurna. Literally, we are saying the dog of Monsieur Diurna. However, remember that de has some contractions that we need to be aware of. De plus le is do, de plus le is day, and then de plus a vowel is de apostrophe. So the friend of the teacher, or désolé, a friend of the teacher. Un ami du prof. So here we're really saying un ami de, de, le, désolé, de le prof, of the professor, of the teacher. However, we can't have this de and this le right next to each other, so we have to change it to do, remember. Ophélie's mom. So really what we're going to say is the mother of Ophélie. La mère d'Ophélie. Because remember, de plus a vowel is de apostrophe. And then lastly, the student's work, le travail des élèves. We're talking about more than one student. The students, plural. Many students' works. Le travail des élèves. All right, next we have showing possession with adjectives. So, what is a possessive adjective? Well, first we need to know, rappelez-moi, c'est quoi un adjectif? What is an adjective? Remember that adjectives are words that describe nouns. They give us a little bit more information. A possessive adjective is a word that shows a possessive relationship. It describes ownership. So, to whom or to what a noun belongs. For example, my bike is broken. Who does this bike belong to? Well, it's my bike. It belongs to me. It's showing that possessive relationship. His friend is nice. Whose friend? His friend. It's showing some sort of ownership or possession. We're not really possessing our friends, but it shows that relationship. Their names are Mary and Luke. Whose names? Their names. It's showing that possession, that ownership. In French, we use them to express the same idea, but these adjectives agree in gender and number. What is gender? Just as a reminder, gender is the noun masculine or feminine? And what is number? Is the noun singular? Are we talking about one of them? Or is the noun plural? Are we talking about more than one of these nouns? D'accord. Let's take a look at an example. Actually, a couple examples. For example, mon frère. Frère, the word frère is masculine, and it's also singular. We're only talking about one brother. So we use this masculine singular form, mon. Sœur is feminine singular. Only one sister, it's feminine, so we use the feminine singular form, ma. But what about plurals? For plurals, there is only one possessive adjective for both masculine and feminine, mes. Mes. So that just talks about my, mon, ma, mes. However, we do have a little table to fill out. This is on the 3rd page of your notes. And these are all of our possessive adjectives. So we have my, we have your, singular, we have his or her, we have our, we have your, plural, and then we have their. So we have mon, ma, mes, ton, ta, te, son, sa, ses, notre, nos, votre, vos, and leur. Go ahead and take a moment and pause right now to take a moment to fill out this chart in your notes if you're following along. So we do have one little exception to this rule, however. So there is one exception. If the noun starts with a vowel and is singular, we use the masculine singular form to avoid the 2 vowel sounds right next to each other. So, for example, if I wanted to say my female friend, a female friend is une amie. If I want to say my female friend, I would say mon ami. And you may be saying, well, we just learned that these possessive adjectives agree with the noun in gender and in number. And you're entirely correct. So you may be saying, well, ami is feminine singular, so why is it not ma? Which we just filled it in our chart right here. Why is it not ma? Well, if we said it out loud, ma, ami, we have those 2 vowel sounds right next to each other, which, remember, not a good thing in French. We can't have that. So only in this specific case do we use the masculine singular form, mon, to get rid of those 2 vowel sounds right next to each other. Mon ami. If I wanted to say your singular, your female friend, ton ami. Not ta ami, because again, those 2 vowel sounds, we can't have them. Ton ami. And if I wanted to say his female friend or her female friend, I would say son ami. Son ami. Not sa ami, because again, those 2 vowel sounds. Son ami. All right, if you are filling out notes, there's a little practice section down at the bottom. I want you to go ahead and try that practice section out for yourself. Do the best you can. We will go over them in class. I know that this is a lot of information at once, so take a deep breath, and we'll get through this together. D'accord? All right, that's all that I have for you today. Au revoir, à bientôt.